Godwin with Water World Magazine. We're here on the show floor of ACE09 in San Diego, talking with Tom Ward of Fluid Metering. Tom, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
I understand that you guys have a brand new patented technology that you're really excited about.
Yes, we do.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fluid Metering is introducing the Chlorotrol at this year's show, and what the Chlorotrol is a valveless hypochlorite injection system, and it's actually totally new. It's also patented, and it's basically a very accurate, maintenance-free way of metering sodium hypochlorite or calcium hypochlorite. This is the core technology of the fluid metering pump. When we say valveless piston pump, what we're also saying is that there's no check valves. So it eliminates the need for a valve because the piston, which is one moving part that accomplishes both the valving and the metering. So it's a very, very reliable, and it's also very accurate, and it's very inert to the various chemicals that are used in water, wastewater applications.
Tom, can you give us a demonstration of how the technology works?
Yeah, absolutely. What we have here is the FMI Chlorotrol, and what we're actually simulating or demonstrating is that we have a working water line that is between 90 and 100 psi, typical of a groundwater situation or pumping into a distribution system. And I have a flow meter also on the output of the unit, and what I'd like to show you is actually what makes up the Chlorotrol, and that is two pump heads, two valveless ceramic piston pumps driven by one 90-volt motor, a variable speed drive, which is our V300 controller, which accepts external signals to basically vary the flow rate of the pump. And what's very important that we're also demonstrating is what chlorine does, or what sodium hypochlorite does, and that is it outgasses. So I'm introducing air into the suction side of the Chlorotrol. And this is usually a very compromising thing to do to a positive displacement pump. In addition to that, I can also demonstrate introducing a very large air slug, which again is also very detrimental to a pump. It creates an airbound pump or airlock pump. At that point, a pump is running, but it's not displacing any fluid or any hypochlorite into the water main, and that is an issue. So what I can do here is I'm running at about 50% of flow, or 50% of the motor's speed, and we're roughly 2 gallons an hour. And if you look over here at the suction side, or the inlet side of the pump, I'm able to constantly put air in or introduce a very large air slug, and the pump never loses prime. It continues to prime. There's no valves involved. Inside the pump, there's a 4-way rectifier that also keeps the pump running in one direction. So when a controller or driver is wired to the unit, it will only meter in one direction, which is also another safety an issue in with the application.
So Tom, who uses this product?
That's actually a very good question. It's used actually by small water districts. It's also used by large water authorities. And we actually have Mike Bufus at the show, and he's actually very familiar with the actual sodium hypochlorite and calcium hypochlorite applications, where the FMI Chlorotrol was actually a replacement to existing technologies that have the valves and have some of the other bypass systems that this was a replacement to.
Okay. Terrific. We talked to him today?
Absolutely. He's here at the show. He's right here at the booth. We have actually Mike Bufus here, who uses the FMI Chlorotrol. And I was hoping he would explain to me. He also uses us in some other interesting water, wastewater applications. But Mike was very early on involved in the fluid metering Chlorotrol, and can actually talk about the calcium hypochlorite applications as well as the sodium hypochlorite applications. Right, Mike?
How are you, Tom?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Well, when I first met Tom, I was having some issues that aren't uncommon to treating 15% sodium hypochlorite. A lot of air binding in my pumps, a lot of maintenance with diaphragms and poppets and checks. So Tom introduced me with this pump, and we put it to the task. You meet a lot of companies say they can pump straight 15%, they can pump Cal Hypo. So I put him to the challenge, and it worked out very well. I've had no problems with the pumps. Been using them about 4 years now. And I've also taken it to a step further. I'm actually using it for 25% caustic, and I'm also using it in some applications with soda ash. So the pump is not fouled at all and been very low maintenance, if any at all.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for talking to us today. Have a great show.
Oh, Angela, thank you so much.
Thank you.